After surviving all that time in hell, it's so great to take a Christmas break and read a good picture book about revolutionary reindeer and angels.
We all think we know the Christmas story, right? But what if we looked at it a little differently? What if Santa's workshop wasn't just a magical wonderland, but a high-stakes workplace on the verge of a total shutdown? Think about it. The entire global operation of Christmas Eve hinges on this one super specialized magical workforce. So, what happens if those workers, the most essential of essential workers, just decide they've had enough and walk off the job? Well, it all kicks off with a pretty classic labor dispute. Yeah, the setting is the North Pole, but the problem? Oh, it's something we can all understand. More work and a whole lot less pay. Or, in this case, hay. And this problem goes right to the very top. We're talking about Rudolph, you know, the hero, the one with the glowing nose. Even he is getting his request for more hay shut down by a stable elf. I mean, when your star player can't even get a decent meal, you know you've got a serious morale problem on your hands. And it's not just the big names either. This right here is Darling. She's a junior reindeer, and she is just completely exhausted and starving. She's really the heart of this story. You know, she represents all the everyday workers feeling that squeeze, and her journey, well, it's about to kickstart everything. Okay, so why is this all happening? What's the root cause here? Let's really dig into what the reindeer are so upset about, because it's not just about being hungry. No, it goes much deeper than that. We're talking about a frustration so intense that it's literally causing their magic to just fade away. And the reason for all this extra work is, honestly, it's fascinating. It's climate change. Seriously, all these storms, hurricanes, and crazy weather are making their annual flights so much harder. So this isn't just some internal management problem, it's a huge external pressure that's pushing the entire system right to its breaking point. So you can basically boil it all down to a simple but totally devastating equation. They're being asked to do a much harder job with way less fuel. And the result? Well, their magic, the literal engine of the entire Christmas operation, is starting to run out. And look, this is way beyond just being upset. They are physically and magically falling apart. You can literally see them starting to fade away. This is a workforce on the absolute verge of collapse, and they're losing the one thing that makes them who they are. But you know, when you get pushed to the brink like that, sometimes the only way out is a truly radical idea. And for these reindeer, their big inspiration didn't come from some ancient magical scroll. Nope, it came from a surprisingly modern place, the Winternet. So picture this, Darling is on a break and she stumbles across this pile of laptops the elves are testing. And what's playing on every single screen? A news report about striking nurses. And that's it. That's the light bulb moment. She sees these other essential workers fighting for what they deserve, and it just clicks. She realizes they can do that too. And Darling's idea, it just catches fire. There's a bit of a debate, of course, but then a lead stag named Lightfoot steps up and makes the call. He just yells, "Darling is right. We don't get treated properly here anymore. Everybody strike." And boom, just like that, all that quiet frustration explodes into a full-blown organized strike. So, the decision is made. And the consequences? They are immediate and they are catastrophic for the entire Christmas operation. The headline basically writes itself. Christmas is canceled. The strike is officially on. And of course, the strike begins with a picket line. But honestly, one of the best little details is the solidarity they get from the elves, who, it turns out, are not great spellers. You've got these signs like stew, strake, skick, and it just adds this perfect touch of humor to what is, for the reindeer, a very serious situation. The shutdown causes absolute logistical gridlock. It's huge. On one side, you've got the sleigh, the main delivery vehicle, just sitting there, totally abandoned. And on the other, a warehouse packed to the gills with presents. It's a massive inventory with absolutely no last-mile delivery solution. The entire supply chain has just ground to a complete and total halt. So as Christmas Eve gets closer and closer, the stalemate just gets worse. Hope is really starting to fade. The reindeer actually abandon the picket line and just head out into the forest to find lichen to eat. Their focus is completely shifted from trying to negotiate to just pure survival. So you're probably wondering, how on earth does this get resolved? The system's broken, the workers have walked out, and the clock has run out. Well, the story's answer is a classic, a true deus ex machina, a literal intervention from the heavens. And this is where it gets really wild. Far, far away from the North Pole, something miraculous starts to happen. Angels just start appearing in the tunnels of the London Underground, like during the morning commute. And they're playing this unbelievable heavenly music. It's this absolutely extraordinary event happening in the most mundane place you can imagine.
And the music is so beautiful that commuters just start donating. The angels end up with bags and bags of pound coins. Now, the story is a little mysterious here. It just says the money all went to heaven. It doesn't explicitly connect the dots for us, but it's pretty clear that this magical fundraising campaign is the turning point of the whole crisis.
All right, so what was the final result of this crazy strike and that mysterious angelic intervention? Let's take a look at the resolution, the recovery, and the moral of the story.
The resolution comes in fast, and it's a win for everybody. So let's break it down. First, and most importantly, the reindeer finally get enough to eat. Second, Rudolph gets his job back. Third, their magic comes roaring back, full strength. And fourth, the big one, Christmas is saved. The strike, it actually worked.
And this really just sums up their whole journey, doesn't it? I mean, look at the contrast. From their absolute lowest point over on the left to their complete restoration on the right. They're healthy, they're well-fed, and they are just glowing with all that recovered magic.
And you know, this wasn't just a win for the reindeer. Getting a fair deal restored the balance for the entire North Pole ecosystem. It even meant the elves got to take their usual, well-deserved New Year's holiday. It just goes to show you, a healthy workplace really does benefit everyone.
And that really brings us to the final big question, doesn't it? This whole whimsical story about striking reindeer, it actually holds a surprisingly deep lesson. When our most essential systems break down, whether we're talking about delivering presents or, delivering our packages, when they grind to a halt, what does that moment teach us about the true value of the people, magical or not, that we so often take for granted?
I really enjoyed the Christmas reindeer go on strike and had a good laugh. It will also make you think about those people who work for us but whom we seldom see, in a more considerate way. Happy Christmas and a blessed New Year to you all.